That's better, right? Project. Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, welcome to our home. It's great to see you all. This is the first time we've had a big event since we used up some of the backyard with the pool. But thank you for coming. And it's a perfect day to have an event to help get Democrats elected and keep the Senate Democratic. Early responsibilities. The first is to welcome you. The second is to introduce you and thank my family who's here. First of all, my parents, Margot and Jerry, are here for the week, as are Bob's mother and her husband. Where are the parents? Raise your hands. All right, everybody should make sure you say hello to them before you leave. All right. And my partner of 27 or 8 years, Bob Rosen, is right over there. We got some inter-party rivalries and competitions, and it always happens in a family, and they aren't fun, but they'll soon be over, and then we're all going to come together. But tonight, I'm going to introduce first a bunch of elected officials, and then some of our candidates. You're going to hear from our Terry McAuliffe, somebody you've heard of. He's going to give a speech. And then you're going to have a straw poll vote. You're going to announce that tonight?
The other way around.
Oh, the other way around. Is the straw poll going to be announced? It's announced tonight?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's going to be announced tonight.
Yes.
So, the elected officials I want to introduce who are here. First, our Congressman, Jim Moran. Continuing to fight for us, Jim. Now, from the Senate, the Virginia Senate, the leader, Senator Dick Saslaw. State senators with us: Mark Herring, Donald McEachin, and George Barker. From the Virginia House of Delegates, I'm going to name them all: Mark Keene, Jim Scott, Charnel Herring, Bob Brink, and Delegate Adam Eben, who is also a candidate for the Senate. Now some local elected. I miss anyone from the state? All right, local elected officials. First, from the Arlington County Board, I want to recognize Barbara Favola, who is also a Senate candidate. And Board Vice Chair Mary Hines. From the school board, we have a candidate, Libby Garvey, candidate for the Senate. We have 3 other members of the Arlington School Board: James Lander, Sally Baird, and Chair Abby Raphael. All right, other local officials from our constitutional slate: Ingrid Maroy, Commissioner of the Revenue. And from outside Arlington, we got a few elected officials. From the Alexandria City Council, Paul Smedberg. From the Alexandria City Council and a Senate candidate, Rob Krupika. From the Falls Church City Council, Lawrence Webb. And from Fairfax, Drainsville District, John Faust. Young Democrats, the President, Jamie Lockhart. From the Virginia Young Democrats, statewide, President Isaac Server. Is Isaac here? And now the last group, some candidates for a number of things in Richmond. Delegate Stephanie Clifford, for Delegate Alfonso Lopez, for Delegate Pam Danner, for Delegate Carl Genther, for Braddock, candidate for Supervisor Janet Olszek, and candidate for Senate Jaime Arzaga Soto. Individually in every case, but we'd be here for another 10 minutes. Thank you to all those elected officials. We have one more. And candidates. You are going to hear from the Senate candidates tonight. One more elected official. Our treasurer in Arlington, Frank O'Leary. All right. Stay tuned. More to come. By the way, when the evening is over, please wander around, go outside, keep eating, keep drinking, sit around, talk about politics, and let's get psyched to keep the Senate Democratic. I want to introduce you to the president of Virginia Partisans, Tiffany Joslyn.
It is quite the view from up here, let me tell you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you for coming out tonight. This means the world to us, and this sends a statement that pro-equality Democrats are the way to go. So I'd like to give you all a round of applause. I have some thanking to do as well, and I will try to keep this short. Now you see the little sheets of paper all around. This is our host committee right here. We could not have done this. Oh, Senator Marsden's here as well. We could not have done this without you. So I'm not going to list this entire thing. You all have seen it. It's on the website and it's on our emails, our friends, our supporters. We love you and thank you so much. I will like to especially acknowledge our sponsors, Jaime Arzaga Soto, Stephanie and Carl Clifford, Jay Fisette and Bob Rosen, Craig Hines, Alfonso Lopez, and Seth Morrison. And then particularly I'd like to thank our patrons, Mr. Terry McAuliffe, and Freddie's Beach Bar and Restaurant, Freddie Lutz, who could not be here with us. He's traveling around Europe, but he made this event happen. And so it's very, very much a big thank you to all of those folks that made this happen. And just another thank you to Jay and Bob. I mean, isn't this place amazing?
It is.
It is amazing. Thank some of our people, and by that I mean the caucus and the partisan boards, because without the commitment of these leaders, this event would not have happened. And so I would like to thank, we have several board members here from the Partisans, Sean Houlihan, Tom Osborne, and Seth Morrison. Make sure you say hello to them. They'll be voting on endorsements soon, actually. Our Partisans treasurer, Clifton Taylor, who has been working the front and doing an amazing job. Thank you all for your patience. From the caucus, we have Nick Benton, Linda Kemp, who's organizing our volunteers, Abby Easter, Joel McDonald, our chair emeritus, Charlie Conrad, and of course we have the chairman of the caucus right next to me, my mentor, my advisor, someone who I could not be in this position without, Terry Mansberger. So thank you to all of those leaders. So in a moment, I'm going to transition into the straw poll delegate candidate debate portion, but I just wanted to just take a minute and mention just what this means tonight. In November, we have a really big fight. A huge fight. And the most important thing for us to do is to keep that Senate blue and keep as many Democrats in the House as possible. But this group knows that it's even more important to make sure all those Democrats that we send down to Richmond, all those ones we support, are pro-equality. Because we need as many pro-equality Democrats in Richmond as possible. But it's not just the kind of pro-equality Democrats that stand up and say, I'm for equality, I'm for same-sex marriage and marriage equality, and cast their votes. It's also the kind of Democrats like Senator Don McEachin. The kind of Democrats who will sit there and put in the time and the effort, who will introduce the bills, who will come up with creative ways to get the bills to move along, like citizen sponsorship of the bills, and who will, I know we're Democrats, but who will reach across the aisle and sit down Republicans and tell our story. Because at the end of the day, we are partisans, but equality is a non-partisan matter. And everyone here knows that. Speaking of partisanship, let's get on to our Democrats. Do we have the candidates for the 31st here? Jaime, has Jaime arrived yet? All right.
He's outside.
He's outside? Can somebody go get Jaime? Can one of my young Dem volunteers go get Jaime? Okay, so here's how it's going to work. We're going to get the candidates up here.